Hey guys, it's Jonathan over at American Off-Road Customs. Want to take a minute and talk about this F-250 that we completed. This thing is pretty freaking sweet. So this is fully loaded with every fancy option you can think of. It works really well with a lot of the options that we did, but this is probably like the really nice extreme of an Overland build that you can do. So first and foremost was suspension. So we went with Carli's Dominator suspension with every option they make. So the Dominator is their highest end shock option, so that gives you the 3.0 King shocks with reservoirs that are tuned to work with their springs and their suspension system. We added in all the optional things to upgrade with that, like the radius arms, the anti-rock style sway bar, which replaces the factory one. We've got high and low mount steering stabilizers on this thing. And then in the rear, we also did their progressive leaf packs. We also did their shackle mount on here, which helps with some smoothness. Because of all the extra weight on here, he wanted to make sure he could have airbags to load level this thing, and Carli does make long travel airbags that work with their suspension, so we put those on this. And then because of what he's doing, he wants to make sure he can have a full-size spare. And normally, you know, you might throw that in the bed because it doesn't fit underneath, but that's not going to work with this. So we went with Carli's full-size tire carrier underneath, so that carries a matching 37-inch wheel and tire underneath and still has his hitch functionality so that he can tow something with this if he wants to. So pretty awesome setup. And when you have this type of suspension, even fully loaded with all this gear on this thing, it rides fantastic. This thing will soak up the bumps and ride like it's not even carrying all this gear on the back. So it's pretty freaking sweet. So also, we did a lot of lighting on this thing so that he can see where he's going when he's out, you know, on his camping adventures, and he wants to be able to multi-purpose lighting aspects. So driving at night on deserted roads and stuff like that, or trails to get to his campsite, and then he also wants lights to be able to light up his campground when he's there. So we got two different goals with the lights here. So obviously on the front of this thing is pretty much just downrange lighting. So we've converted the factory fog light bezels with the Baja Designs fog light upgrade. So we still have a street legal fog light in here, but then we also get the added function of an auxiliary light tied in with this light bar on the front bumper. Got the big light bar up on top of the camper up there, and then some A-pillar lights to kind of light up the area along the side of the vehicle that this, you know, doesn't really get to see. So you got all this stuff to be able to light up everything downrange while you're driving and make sure you're not, you know, not missing something as you're driving down the road or the trail. Going to the back, so this is a Tune camper shell that's on here, and this is kind of set up for a do-it-yourselfer. We installed his awning on the side here for him so that he can open that up and have like a shaded area to the side of the truck. We put these Baja lights on the bottom here to kind of light up the area around his campsite. So there's two on this side, two on the other side, and then we've also got a bunch of lights around the back. So kind of do the same thing. So we can light up the back part when he's got the tailgate down, or he's got, you know, he's working, playing around inside there. These lights will light up that area. The other thing is these guys up here are some high mount third brake lights that also serve as like a chase light function, so gives you a little extra visibility if he's in some dusty environments, stuff like that. So these will light up when he's hitting his brakes, but he can also flip a switch and have him strobe and stuff like that to make himself more visible. The other thing is this truck is loaded with cameras, lots and lots of cameras, which is really cool. But because the factory camera in the third brake light that's on the cab is obviously blocked by all this stuff now, we went with a relocation kit that Ford makes to go on like their trailers. So if you hooked up a trailer, you can put a camera on the back of your trailer. So we're kind of taking that technology and we mounted it right here in the center of his camper shell, so that even when he's backing up and doing all the normal stuff that you would expect to be able to use without this camper here, you still maintain all that functionality. So he's not losing anything by having that there. And so we just incorporated that into this thing, and all the other features that kind of go along with that, with all the options. So this truck is a really awesome build that we're pretty proud of. If this is something that seems like something you would like, make sure you hit us up on our website, give us a call, or stop by the shop, and we can put an estimate together for a build like this for you.